And we now meet the requirements. We are going to click the button which will enact the Jadd Empire government reform. Oh my gosh, this mission tree is enormous. This is my goal. Clicking this button right here. It's going to require us to get quite a bit of land over here, so I think that's what we're going to be working on today. This mission right here requires us to be friendly with these peeps over here, so we might as well do that. That should be pretty straightforward. It's going to give us an event here, the Dragon Phoenix Pact, and then this one here requires us to have this province here. The issue is that it says that they are going to call in basically everybody and their mother, so we're going to have to figure out how we want to go about this. I think we can probably just steamroll them, to be honest with you. From east to west, this is the age of religious conviction, debates, and mass movements. This doesn't seem appropriate, but the age of unraveling is here. Looks like we're off to a good start. We have the same age objectives. We can actually pop our golden arrow whenever we want to. We're probably going to do that here, but I don't want to do it unless there is a good reason to do it. War score cost versus other religions is something we definitely want to push for, and these guys are allied over here. The reason why they're going to be calling in these guys is because they're going to call in the Shogun, or whatever his title is. They're also allied to these guys who I can get a claim with over the sea, so we're going to attack them via that. This is much more reasonable. We can attack these guys. All I really want to do is attack and annex Dafral people. I can't co-belligerent them because that will call in everybody and their uncle, but we can do this, and I think it should be pretty straightforward. Hopefully we'll be okay. We're going to be waiting, making sure we're staying ahead of time on tech, and all should be well. And just like that, we can now complete our mission here. Now, we were just at war with these guys over here, so we're going to have to get back to improving relations with them. Might be smart to pick up an ally, but now we're going to get a mission done down here. Oh my goodness, 20% cav combat ability, 15% movement speed, and yearly tribal allegiance for 25 years. I think we're going to hold on to that because we're going to be going to war with these guys pretty soon, and we're going to need all hands on deck, every bit of cav combat ability we can get, because we're going to need to crush them. We have the Diplo slot, so I suppose we might as well just make friends with these people over here. They are high philosophy, but they want to be my friend, and that will allow us to get the Phoenix Dragon Pact. So hopefully that ends up giving us somebody to help beat the tar out of these guys with, because we're going to need a little help. As you can see here, if we were to attack right now, there's like 250,000 men on their side, if not more. So that's going to be painful, but I think we're going to be able to manage it. We're just going to need to figure out kind of how to maneuver around here and find the choke points and, you know, be smart about the wars we take. The Dragon Phoenix Pact is forged. Feel free to stop and read. But what you need to know is we are going to get some claims on a couple of areas over here. And I think that is where we're going to go next. It's just going to be a matter of having to get war started and call these guys in. So let's curry some favors with these lads and use them for that. We shall now get a forward post in Rahen here for 25 years, 5 supply limit, local recruitment time, and local defensiveness on this fort here, which is great. And then the next one is going to be to take this whole area. In order to click this button, we need quite a few provinces still. I think we may need to annex our subjects over here, which we can do. That'll be no problem. But also we need a couple of provinces, all 3 of them, or it's like here, here, and here. So we're going to need to obviously start pushing into this land here. Yo, take a look at this. So right now we have the Jaddari horse archers. We are about to get 2 extra fire pips and an extra shock pip. That's insane. That's going to definitely be useful. Our cav are going to be able to inflict some casualties on our enemies. I'm not sure if there is going to be a better time than now. We can call these boys in, and it will call in quite a few. Obviously, they have a lot of men, but my hope is that we can just pile up our boys on a couple of provinces, get the war goal, and prevent losing too many men. None of these provinces over here are very good for fighting, but if we can get like a province over here in the hills and bait them into fighting us, we might be able to make it happen. So I think we're just going to have to do it. We're going to have to buckle it down and say, Leroy Jenkins. And, oh no, I'm a little nervous. We're going to make the best of this. We're going to make the best. Oh my gosh. Yeah, our poor friend is about to just get... They're just going to get destroyed. There's not really much we can do about it either. They're kind of just acting as a distraction for now. They're going to get absolutely clobbered. And I just hope that we can get some ticking war score enough so to allow us to annex these areas over here that we have claims on. This should be good. And that will give us a bunch more permanent claims that we can start working through over here. They're starting to file in here. Got to be mindful. They could easily jump on me. Now, I hope we win this siege. Very good. And a nice little tidbit here, you can give, if you have a subject who's got good defensiveness, and in this case, this Verkal Gulan does, we can give the province to them and it transfers occupation over to them and it gives it their defensiveness. So if you're looking to find a province that is easily defendable, like a high hills fort, you give it to your vassal who's got good defensiveness, and then you can bait them into it by scorching the earth so it slows down how fast they can reinforce, and look for some really, really cheeky stack wipes. I think now is a good time to click this button here for 25 years. We'll get an extra bit of cav combat ability, and it looks like this one timed out. So let's make sure we get that bit there. and now we're sitting at 70% cavalry combat ability. That is going to be very useful considering the fact that that's our entire front row of combat. So much red, bro. There's so much red on my screen right now. We have to be careful because they can dogpile on us so easily, and they get a wall breach. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they get a wall breach over here? But I think they forget who they're fighting against. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go well for them. Man, it's a good thing for us that the AI is incapable of handling sieges, because look how many men they've lost just to attrition alone. Absolutely just getting destroyed. And one of the most overpowered button clicks in the game, 25% war score cost versus other religions. It may actually be smart for us as well to pop our golden era, 50 years of 10% all power cost. That's the major thing I'm looking for. That's going to make it cheaper for us to push through these ideas, which will give us enough excess mana to start developing colonialism, because we're not going to get it anytime soon. We're going to need to dev for it. So we're going to have to do that. Now I'm just taking this army back and forth, and I just keep steamrolling through all these enemies, and they're taking such heavy losses. Oh my gosh, they've lost so many men. I've lost 44,000. Oh no, they have lost well over 250,000. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, if you want an image of what this whole war has been, this is what you're looking at right here. Rest in peace, the 1,700 brave horsey men. But oh my gosh, how about them losses? They didn't even have a general. These guys suck. Well, after a thorough butt whooping, they are indeed ready to give us what we want in this war. Funny enough, my ally never even pieced out, even though they've been full occupied for like years at this point. So we're going to go ahead and take this state here, which is going to give us this mission to divide the coast, which will give us some more claims that we will then attack these guys for in, you know, about 10 years. So we are at an impasse right now. We need to decide if we want to reform or if we want to kind of establish ourselves as an advanced tribal state or restructure the state. Manpower is very good. Tribal allegiance is fine. I'm pretty keen on the war exhaustion, but the legitimacy is also not that good. So I think we're going to go with restructure the state, and then we're going to kind of see where we can go from there, because I believe when we click this button, we will get a new government, and everything will be much better with that. The Jadd is spreading prolifically. It's making a push over here into these lands over here. And if you see here, oh my goodness, we got ourselves a vassal. We are converting the harpies. It's so poetic. We made some friends over here in this Duck guy. And it means we are going to start attempting to gain rule over those people and break them away from the Raj, which that is the name of this. This is the Raj, not to be confused with the Shogunate. It is not the Shogunate, it is the Raj, and not the Indian Raj. This is definitely not India. We have struck a deal. We will make them an autonomous vassal and will give us some permanent claims on that area. So it's a shame that the guy who I ended up subjugating is an OPM, is going to take up that Diplo slot. We do have strong duchies as well. Whew. I have more claims down here, and these guys have some cores over here. So we'll be able to make another punch at these guys here in just a few years. And so we're just going to lay low and chill for a bit and then prepare, because we're going to attack them. And meanwhile, my vassal up here is absolutely just getting clapped by orcs. So I think I should probably go help them, because they seem kind of helpless. And the orcs' demands are, yeah, basically to destroy them. So I think I should probably help. No time like the present. Let's get to war. They have over 100,000 men running around, and I don't know where they are. I haven't fought hardly any of them. Literally, I haven't fought any of them. So they're just letting me full occupy them. Now, we need a couple of provinces specifically for this Saran Delta mission, which is these provinces right here. So obviously, we're going to take all of those. We're going to need them there. And then, you know, I'd like to probably clean up borders a bit over this way. Now, they do have the institution in a couple of these provinces, so that will be perfect. So this is a nice peace deal. 105 AE, like I give a rip. And just like that, we take all their money as well as all their land over here. And the main thing is that this institution will now spread into our land. It's going to cost us a lot of admin. Obviously, we're still behind on admin, and we're planning on taking probably religious ideas, but, you know, we'll see what we can do. So Marlin over here is a heresy of the Regent Court, and it looks like it is absolutely wreaking havoc here in what is the HRE of Anbennar, or I guess they just call it the Empire of Anbennar. And we're still just waiting. It's going to take a little bit, but it is spreading slowly but surely. Just need to make sure we're kind of encouraging this institution spread here. And now, since we have cleaned up our borders over in this area, take a look at that map mode. Beautiful. We can get the Surround Delta, which gives us permanent claims on the rest of this area. And we are one step closer to forming the Jadd Empire. We are integrating Bulwar as well, and that's going to give us quite a few more provinces. So it's mostly going to be an issue of getting over into these lands. So what do you guys say we focus our attention this way now? Why don't we just attack this guy here and go for whatever, a province that's close and easy to defend? How about this fort literally right on our border here? And we should be able to get them over pretty quickly. Look at that, a 5 siege general. Thank you, aristocratic ideas. Boy, is it expensive, but we can finally embrace this institution, which will save us a lot of mana moving forward. I did take Miltech just because we're in a big war over here, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't falling behind. You know, that could be bad, but yeah, I think it'll help us catch up on tech, catch up with the rest of these guys over here over in Anbennar, so we should be fine. And with the completion of our idea group here, an extra 10% cav combat ability. And as long as we keep this up, we're at 80%. And as far as I know, that is mostly permanent. We are no longer a kingdom. We are a tribal empire, which gives us some bonuses. We get some governing capacity, which Lord knows we need it. And that's going to be good because it also allows us to accept some more cultures that we might be exploring into. So yeah, all around a good thing. The printing press has spawned. Go ahead and stop and read the flavor text if you'd like. That does indeed mean we're going to have to dev up yet another institution. Sad times. Reasonable conquest over here, all going to my subjects. Well, looks like I missed the one, but that one is also going to my subject because who doesn't love strong vassal play? Sure, I'll pay off your debts, man. Look how good of a guy I am. And after this war's done over here, which has been going on for a while, we're going to be able to take quite a bit of clay in this. And you can see the empire here, they're just drowning their men. Like, their men are just all dying. They have no manpower left. I'm actually surprised if their subjects are even loyal at this point. Yeah, still pretty stable, but hopefully we can split them off and maybe start doing some shenanigans over here. At long last, we can get our peace deal. This war has only been going on for you know, whatever this is, 7 years, and we have only killed 500,000 of their men, but it shall happen. And we won't be able to get a mission quite yet. This mission right here requires us to own this province as well, this urban center here. We weren't able to quite get it, but that's quite a good bit of clay to be taken for our subject. And just like that, we are very much one step closer to being able to do this. Well, it looks like our friends over here have formed a new nation, and I'm not actually sure if this was what the ideas they had before. They have defensive, army manpower, force limit, reinforcement cost. I think it only makes sense we make them we're gonna have to make them a vassal before we can make them. Okay, well, that is fine with me. Let's go ahead and make them a vassal, and then we will march them when we are able to. Yeah, this relative army power of all vassals is listing twice, and it's giving them a ton more than they otherwise would have. I think it's okay because I'm pretty sure we can just develop them a little bit, but if it ends up being too much of an issue, it may end up needing to just like release them and integrate them ourselves. Yo, look at the development of this dwarf's capital. Are you joking? That is crazy. 65, 63. What is our subject over at? Only 38. What you doing, man? Get your numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. I was just taking a look around, and wouldn't you know it, we are indeed the #1 great power in the world. That's pretty dope. I will gladly take the crown as the greatest of the great powers in the world, better than Laurent, who is doing quite well over here. But yeah, nobody can top the Jadd. The Jadd is the Chad. Get it? But I've actually gotten a few comments talking about that. The Jaddari Empire, and I appreciate that. I think that's funny. Alas, we are now a militarized empire. We lose some trading efficiency for 40 years, but we get manpower recovery speed, reinforcement costs, and reinforcement speed. I think that's a worthwhile trade-off. Take a look at this general we unlock. When we finally convert everything over here in the Serpent Spine, we are going to get a 7 siege general. How in the world? Cinderbeard. Legendary, dude. And it seems that the Protestants version in Anbennar has won, and the Empire is now officially following the whatever this is, Corinthite faith. So very cool. Members of they decided to go with the reform. They have passed a reform. All right, there's only one elector, so it seems to say it is not necessarily the strongest point for the Empire, but you know, maybe they can make a comeback from it. Who knows? Now, they are definitely weaker than they were before. I think this is going to be one of the last wars here for the actual push that we're trying to get in order to form Jadd. But we need this province here, and I believe this province here. I'm going to have to check here. So it's this province here, and this province here. That's what we're taking in this war, where we will snake over and take them. That is fine. It's just going to take a bit of time, but we should be good. Should be able to manage it, and we'll see exactly how things go from there. Oh my goodness, Jaddar is dead. Long live Jaddar. And then he also has an heir named, you guessed it, Jaddar. And I think we're probably going to abdicate for him when we're able to, because a 2-3-1 is pretty garbage. But this war is coming along. Mostly we're just kind of beating the tar out of them, killing them, beating the tar out of them, killing them. And we're just waiting until they are exhausted to the point where they're willing to accept a peace. Sadly, we will not get everything we need, but we are going to be one city away. We'll be one war off from being able to form the Jadd, and then in the meantime, we're over here beating up on these guys to consolidate some land for my subjects. I think this will do it. We're going to get these 2 urban centers here that are required to form the Jaddari Empire. I will return 1 province here for my subject, and I'm going to keep the truce a little bit on the shorter side. The Raja has fallen, apparently, and an era has come to a close, which will give us some mana as well as some prestige. Also, take a look at this. We conquered some land for our subjects up here, and it actually colored the wasteland, and we're pretty close to being able to get it all converted up to Jadd as well, so we can get this mission up here, which gives us some bonuses, gives us that Cinderbeard leader. Pretty cool. So it seems that this last war, we actually dismantled this empire, and now there's just some pure chaos going on. So actually, all we need is a couple provinces from these guys. I'm going to integrate them, and then these guys are a subject, by the way. We're going to integrate them, and then we are going to take this fort here, and then we're going to form the Jadd Empire. And here we go. We'll click the button that will convert these guys, and then it said it will also apply to a couple of other like another province somewhere. And next up on the chopping block will be to take these provinces over here. In order to core this, yeah, I don't really know. I'm gonna have to integrate these guys first, so we're gonna have to work on that, and that's not a problem. We can get that done before too long. Our perpetual struggle to keep admin up while also working on our idea group is going to continue, because we're going to move our capital here to Bulwar, which will move our trade capital down this way, which will allow us to transfer from here instead of transferring from, say, over here on the Golden Highway. And take a look at this. We're going to go from 20.5, it's going to 26, but I think it might need a month because we still needed to steer there. 26.4, 26, so an extra 7 ducats a month, not bad at all. Safe to say that the Jadd has spread far and wide and continues to be the strongest religion in the world. Sadly, the Dame Star has fallen out, or ran out here, and that means we are now going to get livestock. Sadly, it happened up here as well, but we got gems, and I believe that's actually what happened over here before, when we got gems in one of our provinces, like over here. I think this was Dame Star before as well. So seems that there is not a unlimited supply, which makes sense. It's a super wealthy trade good. It's supposed to come from comets, I believe, like magic comets, right? So it makes sense it would run out. Unfortunate though. After a bit of shenanigans, we are able to embrace this institution, take some technology. Finally, we're like basically caught up. I mean, we're slightly behind. They're on 14, 15, 15. We're on 14, 14, 14. So we're not too far off. Soon we'll be able to start working on our idea group here. And for our next one, hard to say what we really want to go. I suppose we could probably go with like let's go with quality, stack up a little bit more cav combat ability. So let's go ahead and go with that. And then we will make sure we take tech first though. And with this bit of conquest, we should have everything we need to form the empire. We just are going to need to core it up. And with the conversions of all of these guys down here, Thurth Cinderbeard, the 4307 siege, you counted at 7, more than the base game allows, becomes available for duty. And we are just waiting on a couple of cores here, and we're going to click the button. And we now meet the requirements. We are going to click the button, which will enact the Jadd Empire government reform. It is going to give us a missionary strength, tolerance of the true faith, tolerance of heretics, tolerance of heathens' malices, maximum absolutism, governing capacity, which is very useful, and a couple of other modifiers as well for the Jadd nobility reform as well. Assimilates cultures into administration. So when we click that button here, we are now the Jadd Empire. We will take their traditions because I want to see what they look like. And the seat of the court, I have no idea what this means, but we'll go with Bulwar since that is where our court is residing currently. We also have some more missions, and you can see, yep, we got a new mission tree all through here. Oh my gosh, this mission tree is enormous. Oh my gosh, this mission tree is crazy big. So we've got a couple of missions. We might as well click what we can right now. Where are we at here? Permanent pilgrimages, which gives us some bonuses for the rest of the game. Cool. This is Jews Jazz, very good, which will give us some bonuses for, you guessed it, the rest of the game for a little bit of money. That's reasonable. We can also convert some stuff. We have some government reform that we can be working with here. So the Jadd Empire is essentially, it is a feudal theocracy, and the Jadd nobility gives us assimilation bonuses. So you can see we kind of have the Mughal bonuses here. Once we get the Bulwari, we get core creation cost. Harpies give us manpower recovery speed. That's pretty sweet. But yes, guys, I think that's a great place to call it. If we wanted to continue, we very easily could, but I will leave that up to you. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have played some Anbennar. I'm curious how you've enjoyed your campaigns. I've had a lot of fun with this one, but it is time to move on to the next one. If you guys have any ideas for things specifically that you would like to see here on Chewbert, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. If you have any feedback, I appreciate it. I want to make sure that I'm getting better as a content creator and giving you guys what you guys want to see. If you did enjoy, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I do have my other channel, Chewy Shoot. Link is in the description below, as well as my Discord, my subreddit, my Patreon, my Twitter. It's all linked in the description. And that's about all I've got for you for today. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, stay cool.